I didn't even notice until a couple of years later.
So you were in that position for 2 years?
For a couple of years. I was just
wow,
there.
and God kept you.
And God kept me. And that's
and then
why
you
I'm here.
birthed your foundation. Tell us about your foundation before we go to the next place.
So the foundation is Rising Above the Struggle in memory of Christian. And my heart is there. It's dedicated to not just a single parent, but parents that's in the struggle, that's out here. We're raising sons, and by the world system, we're minorities. I'm not a minority. My children are not a minority, but by the world system. And so the foundation is just to outreach and do different things through music, through ministry, school time, whatever it is that I can give back, and I come alongside other people with the same purpose. That's how it was birthed. Because of Christian's death, but the purpose of it is to help the next person, is to educate and bring awareness to the next person.
Okay, great. Sister Brenda Gresham, tell us about the pain, the struggle, the challenges that you faced during this process. How long did it last for you? And how did you transition into where you are now?
Well, see, when I get on panels like this, I'm always the odd person in. Immediately,
So you're not out.
Immediately, I put my trust in God that He would deal with the situation.
Amen.
I've been in my church for 52 years. I'm the minister of music at my church. My son was a musician. We traveled all over Oakland. So I never actually got to that point where I balled in a corner. I never, because I had my daughters and I had so many friends and family that I was more worried about them than I was myself, because they were more broken than I was, and I was his mother. But, my strength came from just praying to God that He would help me to help them. Christopher died in December. His foundation was opened in February. Christopher died on Friday. On Monday, I went to Castlemont. He's a senior at Castlemont. I went to Castlemont, and I spoke with the students. I personally met with the students because everybody knew Christopher. Everybody loved Christopher. I personally went and met with those students, and after I left the students and heard the story, I was like, now, I would be less of a mother to let it stop here. I gave a scholarship for 2 years to Castlemont, and with the change of hands, different things are not allowed. But I'm still friends with Mama Brenda to most of his friends from school. And so I just go from there, and Christopher was very active in our community, in our neighborhood. When the kids wanted to go outside, their moms didn't want to take them outside, they come knock on my door. Can Christopher come outside with us? And he would take the little kids out. He was 17, he'd be outside with the 2-3-year-olds. So it was a variety of things that needed to be done. It wasn't...
So your faith just transitioned you all the way through.
All the way through.
Wow, that's a beautiful testimony. Oh my God. Wow. Sister Geraldine, tell us about it. Tell us about your emotional part of it and how it transitioned, how you transitioned.
Well,
And are you still transitioning?
the thing for me was, this was 2 weeks before Alan's graduation. He had just gone to prom. He had a 3.0 grade point average. We were excited. He was working, and we decided, he didn't know he was going to get a car, but my young man said, Dad, I want to buy my own car, because if you buy it, you're going to be in charge, and I want to be in charge of my own car. And he didn't even know when we were getting him a car, but my husband told me, he said, okay, Al, whatever you say, I'll match it. So we were in a celebratory mood. My daughter had just had a baby. She was coming home for graduation. Everybody was like excited and uplifted about his next phase. This is the baby of our family, our youngest boy. So when it hit out of the blue like that, it was overwhelming. But I want to tell you about the favor of God. Because I had been in church. I had went to Acts for Gospels church anniversary, and Marvin Sapp was there, and he was talking about his loss. And when you're down and desolate in that dark place after that big, huge loss, but you have to be able to say yes to the Lord. And I was like, why is he saying that? And I was just began to be in spirit, and I was speaking in tongues, and I was saying, yes, Lord. I remember saying, yes, Lord. And that was on a Thursday. So by Sunday morning when I got this call, I was like, Lord, wait, it's me. Geraldine, the one with the favor. How could you do this? I'm the one So I was like all over the place, and it was really hurting because of the manner in which he was treated. He was treated so badly and so much lies. And I'm saying about the favor of God because there was someone from OPD who heard me get up and speak, who saw the pain in my eyes and who saw my tears and said, wait a minute, I'm going to get you a meeting with the chief because you need more. It was just the chief and other people who decided to cover up and lie and all of that. And I remember saying, I can't do this. What am I going to do? And I call her Bishop, but she said, you're going to stand strong. She said, right now, it's not you, but God is going to give you the words for his people to say where they can hear you and understand that no weapon formed against your family shall prosper. What the devil meant for your bad, God is going to turn around for your good. So at first, I was just going on. It was the Holy Spirit just picking me up, getting me out of bed, that was pushing me. Anytime they said, come out and speak for your son, I spoke to the union, I spoke to the city, we had to shut down the city council because they wouldn't even give us his coroner's report. We had to sue. At every turn, it just seemed like the devil was fighting. But every time he would throw me a punch in the eye, I would turn around with a round-off kick.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You got to stand
That's
on the
right.
word of God.
Fight.
I got in the fight. And I was fighting with everything I had. And with me fighting, people started coming and saying, oh my God, you are so inspirational. Oh my God, when that happened to my son, I couldn't do it. And I knew firsthand their pain. I knew what it took for them to get out of the bed. I knew how they felt when people would say, oh, it's going to be all right, you'll get over it. I knew how they felt. So God anointed me to give them the words to help them. So that's how it started. I was going around speaking all over, but it was the people, it was the mothers, it was the children that walked up to me and said, man, if they killed your son, it ain't no hope for me. I had to be their hope in the time of struggle, in the time of need, in the time of pain, and God gave me a purpose. So I knew, right away that I was going to do something. I didn't know what it was. But a friend of mine who heard me, we became best friends, and she said, I saw you speaking. She said, you sent chills. We got together, wrote out a plan, and we hit the ground working. So the Alan Bluford Foundation also takes back the power of the community by empowering the community. What I mean by that is if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, but you can't afford to go to a therapist, or you are too afraid to share with others, guess what? They call me at night. They call me in the morning. They give me, inspiration of why I want to help them. If they can't talk, they just text me code 10, and wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I stop and start praying for him. That's what God has given me. We also do outreach for the youth. My son plays sports, so we help kids to get on teams when they can't afford it. Wow. We also, right now it's prom season, so he had just gone to prom. Kids don't even want to go to prom. One, they can't afford it. Two, the schools tell them that, oh, you can't go, this and that. Right now, I put it out there. If you want to go to prom, the Alan Bluford Foundation will help you. And I thought it was going to be girls. I was excited because, I like dress up. But it's the young men who are calling saying, can you help me? Mm-hmm. Can you help me? We also have a center down in Oakland at 2434. It's the Alan Bluford Center for Justice. And our theme is a place to heal the community. So young people come there. They they use their artistic gifts to show their awareness or to spread their awareness. We do job training, we do healthcare and empowerment. So there's a lot of things. It's what the community needs is what I try to do.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.